Yes, previously we have done about B forms. One thing you remember, if you want to get the fast track results, is my voice audible?
It's audible, sir.
Okay, done. If you want to have the fast track results, one thing you remember, initially you focus on B forms, do forms, have forms. Shall, will, can, may, must, dare, need, used to, are to. These are the common basics verbs. If you go for any type of communication at any place, whether that is official communication or general communication or very common communication, without having the usage of these verbs, there is no sentence. There is no sentence. Just you could imagine any type of sentence. For example, I am in the room. Just you could imagine I am in the room. Okay, you are in the room. You are, I am. Am is a B form, are also is a B form.
Before.
Okay, like that, if you frame any kind of sentence, that may be a simple sentence or a difficult sentence, without knowing the uses of these verbs, please remember be forms, do forms, have forms, shall, will, can, may, must, dare, need, used to, are to. You have to know how to use these verbs in the sentence formation if you want to have the faster results. Many people, where they do a very common mistakes, without knowing how to use these verbs, they want to communicate very fluently. How is it possible? How is it possible? It is impossible to improve our communication without knowing the minimum the uses of these verbs. That's why today's session we are going to know especially do forms. Do forms. Please remember, in the do form we have three verbs: do, did, and done. Sorry, do, did, sorry, do, does, and did. We have these three: do, does, and did. How to use them in the sentence formation, especially that may be basic level or advanced level. Let us see how that will be. For example, let you take the first one, do. Do. We have pronouns I, we, you, they. Follow the do. He, she, it. Follow the does. It is very primary level. For example, if you say, just observe just what I say, some of your colleagues may communicate like this. He don't know about it. He don't know about it. Okay, fine. You convey the meaning, but grammatically that is wrong usage. How do you say the sentence? He doesn't know about it. He doesn't know about it. It is the very basic level. For example, if you are in the official meeting or any virtual meeting, if you speak like that, he don't know about it, she don't know about it, that is absolutely wrong. They may have what do you call, what they understand about your communication. That's why you be aware of your basic communication. What I say by following do, does, and did. Do carries I, we, you, they. Remember, he, she, it carries does. That's all. Now come to the point. The usage of this one. For example, just listen my statement. Very simple statement. I like it. I
I
like
like.
it. How do you say the negative sentence?
I don't.
Yes, good. I don't like. One thing you remember in this case, in the first sentence, there is no do. I like it. If you want to say negative sentence, you directly take one. Of course, whether you know grammar, I don't know that one. I don't focus on grammar here. But in the case of usage, you told me the right sentence. I don't like it. I don't like it. The same format, for example, I get up early in the morning. I brush my teeth. I have breakfast. I go to office. I talk to my colleagues. I share my opinions with my colleagues. Okay, I have lunch at 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Okay, I take rest 30 minutes. Again, I go back to work. I come back home at 5 o'clock. I relax myself at 6 o'clock. I have what do you call? I have a cup of tea at 6:30. Okay, I go to bed at 10 o'clock. It is only one statement. I go for the complete 24 hours activity. What you do? I like it. First example. I get up early in the morning. I brush my teeth. I have breakfast at 8:30. I go to office by 9. I talk to my colleagues. I share I share my opinion with my colleagues. I have sorry, mom. I have cough and colds. I have lunch at 1 o'clock. I take rest to 30 minutes. Again, I go back work. Okay, I'm very I involve very seriously about my activity. I go back home at 5 o'clock. I take rest at 6 o'clock. I have a cup of tea at 6:30. I go to bed at 8:30 or 9. This in general. With one example, I have created 20 examples how the routine life we have done. It is the only one format. By following this format, you complete routine life. You can design yourself as a story, as a general conversation, as your official conversation, whatever that is. Do you get this pattern?
Yes.
I mean, when you know this pattern, no need to think in the second option, just you directly apply that. That's all. Only one pattern I gave you. I take it very common example. I like it. With I started my communication. At what time I get up? At what time I brush my teeth? At what time I have breakfast? At what time I go to office? At what time I communicate with my colleagues? At what time I have dinner? At what time I take rest? At what time I come back in the work? Okay, at what time I come back home? At what time I take rest? At what time I have a cup of tea? Okay, at what time I watch television? At what time I go to bed? See, is there any grammar? Is there any logic? Just only one thing you try to observe. I plus V1 form. I plus V1 form. If you apply instead of a V1 form, if you go for V2 or V3, that is wrong. That is wrong. Only V1 form. I get up, I brush my teeth, I have breakfast, I have lunch, I have dinner, I talk to my colleagues. Okay, I come back home, I have a cup of tea, I watch television, I go to bed. That is the matter. The same sentence, if you want to say negative sentence, how do you say? I don't get up early in the morning. I don't brush my teeth. I don't have breakfast in the morning. I don't go to office. I don't have lunch in the afternoon. Okay, I did not go back office. I did not I don't come back office. I don't have tea at the time of evening. I don't watch television. The same style, just you apply don't. That is given the negative form of the sentence. For example, I don't say anything about this project. Just I don't say anything about this project. That is given the negative meaning of the sentence. The same pattern you can apply I, we, you, they. That's all. Next to come back to she, he, she, it. For example, if you take he gets up early in the morning. He brushes his teeth in the morning. He goes to office at 9 o'clock. He talks to his colleagues in the office. He has breakfast. He has lunch at 1 o'clock. He has involved in the office work. He comes back from the office at 5:30. He takes a rest at 6. Okay, he takes a cup of tea at 6:30. He watches television at 8 p.m. He goes to bed at 10 o'clock. I don't change any pattern. I don't change any pattern. The only thing is that what I do here, S or ES to the main verb. S or ES to the main verb. That may be, for example, he goes, she goes, it goes. There is a disturbance. Okay. Do you understand this pattern, Manikanta? Please remember. The same pattern I want to say how to ask a question. It is very important. How to ask a question, especially by following the same pattern. I ask a question. Do you get up early in the morning? Do you get up early in the morning? Do you have breakfast in the morning? Do you go to office in the morning? Do you involve in the activity in the morning? Do you have lunch at 1 o'clock? Do you involve in the activity at 4 o'clock? Do you come back from the office at 5 o'clock? Do you take a cup of tea at 6 o'clock? Do you watch television at 8 o'clock? Do you go to bed at 10 o'clock? Same pattern. First one, positive sentence. Second one, negative sentence. Third one is interrogative. It is very important. You told me that here you might have general conversation with the people. If you want to ask a question, in general question, for example, now you are in the cafeteria. Do you want to have a cup of tea? Do you want to have snacks? Or else very simple, I can say that, for example, right now you are right now before you may have snacks. Just very simple, you can say have it. Have it means take it. Have it means take it. If they are willing, they're ready to take. If they are not willing, okay, thank you. They generally tell you that, thank you. Then as the matter. Fourth pattern, what I say, negative interrogative. Negative interrogative. Don't you get up early in the morning? Don't you brush your teeth? Don't you have a cup of tea? Don't you go to office at 9 a.m.? Don't you talk to your colleagues? Don't you have lunch at 1 p.m.? Don't you go back home? Don't you go back at activity at 4:30 or 4? Don't you come back from the office at 5:30? Don't you take rest at 6? Don't you take a cup of tea at 6 o'clock? Don't you watch television at 8 o'clock? Don't you go to bed at 10 p.m.? Just only one simple logic. You have to know that is the type of sentence, whether that is positive, negative, interrogative, or negative, interrogative. The entire communication, wherever you go, the entire communication takes place by following only these four expressions. Understand what I say? In the session, what do you learn here? How to use especially do, does by following I, we, you, they, he, she, it. Okay, it is especially routine actions. For example, if you go to office, what are the routine actions you have? All the routine actions, you can follow this pattern. And regular actions. For example, if you are in the office, you may have any regular actions. For example, do you solve that problem? Very common question that ask you. Do you solve that problem? Do you submit that project? Do you submit that profile? Do you submit that document? Or else, if that is third person singular, he or she, does she submit that profile? Does he submit her document, his document? Like that, you frame a number of questions. Like that, you do a number of exercises by following this pattern. The only thing is that when you know the pattern, right now you are in the house, just imagine yourself, somebody is in front of you, just you communicate with like by having your own imagination. If you do this kind of practice for 2 months or 3 months like this, you definitely become a good communicator when you enter the office. Because many people, why they struck at the communication? Due to lack of practice, due to lack of exercise of vocal cords. Please remember. Initially, I gave you one task, especially every day you read Hindu newspaper or some English newspaper, loud reading. I told you, I think so you remember. Every day you do that. Of course, you may have busy schedule or you may not have the busy schedule. That is not the matter. Every day you do by following loud reading of English newspaper. If you do this exercise, when you come to the real time of communication, it is very useful to open your mouth. to open your mouth, and also the pronunciation becomes very easy to pronounce any word. You can get the words fluently. Understand? It is one pattern. Next, what I say, did is there. Do, does, did. Did is the past form of do and does. Did is the past form of do and does. It is the opposite of do and does, just only one thing. But we have to know how to use them in the sentence formation. I come to that point. For example, I got up early in the morning yesterday. I got up. Previously, what I told you in the present action, get up. GETUP. Right now, what I told you, V2 form, I got up early in the morning yesterday. Yesterday means that was the past action which was done yesterday, last night, last week, last month, last year, 2015, 2020, 23, any time that was done in the past. Understand? Just remember, I got up early in the morning at 6:30. I had breakfast at 8 p.m. I had breakfast at 8 p.m. Or else, if you want to say like this, you can say like this. I took breakfast at 8 p.m. I took breakfast. I got up. I took breakfast. I went to office at 9:30. Okay. And I involved in the activity by 9:30 or 10 o'clock. I spoke with my colleagues. I spoke with my colleagues, or I talked to my colleagues. I took lunch at 1 p.m. I took lunch at 1 p.m. I involved in the activity by 3:30. I came back from the office by 5. I relaxed myself by 6:30. I took a cup of tea at 6:30. I watched television at 8 p.m. I went to bed at 10 p.m. You see the sequence, how it is very easy for you. There is no confusion, there is no formula, there is no grammar. Just what I told you, the previous pattern, do, does, the same thing that you repeat, the opposite of that. Only one thing, just to repeat opposite of that. I take breakfast, I took breakfast. I get up early in the morning, I got up early in the morning. I go to office, I went to office. I talk to colleagues, I talk to colleagues. I have dinner at 1 p.m. I took dinner 1 p.m. I involved in the activity at 3:30. I involved in the activity at 3:30. I come back from the office. I came back from the office. I take a cup of tea. I took a cup of tea. I watch television. I watched television. I go to bed. I went to bed. Is there any difficulty? Please tell me, Manikanta.
No, sir. No, sir.
Nothing is there. I mean, just one thing you remember, we have a number of languages in the world. Which is the easiest language? That is English language. Because many people are afraid. Okay, fine. The thing is that if you know the logic, how to use it, it is very easy. It is very easy. Understand this pattern? About this one, in the past sentence, how to say the negative sentence, I want to say this. Please remember, many people did a few mistakes, especially in the past activity. For example, how to say that one, negative sentence. I got up early in the morning. That is the past positive sentence. How to say negative sentence? I did not get up early in the morning. I did not get up early in the morning, because did do plus V1 is equal past action. Please remember, did do plus V1 is equal past action. Why many people do a few mistakes? For example, did you went to college? Did you went to office yesterday? Did you went to office yesterday? That is wrong. Did you go to office yesterday? This is the only logic where you remember where many people do these common mistakes. Even you try to observe with your colleagues. A few people do these mistakes. I don't say that that is wrong. But if it is official conversation with your superiors, okay, they understand what is your communication. Okay, now come to the pattern. You get this point. Now, I did not get up early in the morning. I did not brush my teeth. I did not have breakfast. I did not talk to my colleagues. I did not involve in the activity. I did not have lunch. I did not involve in the activity. I did not come back from the office. And I did not relax myself. I did not take a cup of tea. I did not watch television. I did not go to bed. Just only one pattern, positive, negative. Now come back to interrogative. Did you get up early in the morning? Did you get up early in the morning? Did you get up early in the morning? Did you have breakfast early in the morning? Did you go to office in the morning? 1 minute, no? Hello, sir. సార్ సెషన్లో ఉన్నా సార్ ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు సార్ ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు సార్ ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు సెషన్లో ఉన్నాను చేస్తా చెప్పం వాళ్ళు వస్తారా సూపర్ ఫోన్ వాళ్ళు ఓకే యు సీ ఇంటరాగేటివ్ సెంటెన్స్ డిడ్ యూ గెట్ అప్ ఎర్లీ ఇన్ ద మార్నింగ్ డిడ్ యూ హ్యావ్ బ్రేక్ఫాస్ట్ డిడ్ యూ గో టు ఆఫీస్ డిడ్ యూ ఇన్వాల్వ్ ఇన్ ద యాక్టివిటీ డిడ్ యూ హ్యావ్ లంచ్ అట్ 1 p.m. Did you focus on your work? Did you come back from home? Did you watch television? Did you have a cup of tea? Did you go to bed at 10 p.m.? Same pattern. How to ask the past interrogative sentence. Did subject to V1. If you want to say negative interrogative, for example, did you get up early in the morning? Did you get up early in the morning? Did you brush your teeth? Didn't you brush your teeth? Didn't you have your breakfast? Didn't you go to your bed? Didn't you go to your office? Didn't you have lunch? Didn't you talk to your colleagues? Didn't you focus on your work? Didn't you come back from the office? Didn't you relax yourself? Didn't you have a cup of tea? Didn't you watch television? Didn't you go to bed at 10 p.m.? I mean, is there any confusion by following these expressions? Positive. I got up. I did not get up. Negative. Did you get up? Interrogative. Didn't you get up? Negative. Interrogative. The entire communication takes place by following these 4 examples. Only these 4 examples, only these patterns. I mean, it is very basic level. How to use do, did, done. Sorry, do, does, did. Do we can use I, we, you, they. Does we can use he, she, it. When you come back to did, it is applicable to all the pronouns. I did, we did, you did, they did, he did, she did, and it did. Okay, it is the basic pattern how your communication takes place by following regular activities, routine activities, daily activities, and habitual activities. Whatever you have, you follow do and does. If it is past, you follow the second pattern, that is about did. That is about did. Okay, are you able to do practice about this one right now today? Can I extend this one?
Enough,
Yes. Yes.
Is enough, sir.
Okay, because you see, for what I ask you, whatever I have the content, if I give you more, if you don't pay attention, there is no use. Okay, because orally I can tell you so many patterns because I know how the way, but you have to do practice. That's why, first of all, one thing you remember, it is very easy. Whatever you do practice, you go for realistic experiences. Just imagine when you enter the office at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, 9 to 5, what happens, everything you could imagine, the routine activity, habitual activity, daily activities. all those you follow by following these patterns. If you are at home, at what time you get up, what are the activities have you done every day, you follow this pattern. When you come back home by 6 or 6:30, just imagine all the patterns, what is your lifestyle, you follow these patterns. If it is present, you follow do and does. If it is past, you follow did. It is very basic. If you remember this pattern, it is very easy to move on to the next level. Why many people do a few mistakes, they simply forget the basics. Okay, they want to go for the advanced level, they want to go for a fluent communication. Of course, fine, that is wrong. When you know the basics, it is very easy to go for advanced. And also you remember the pattern. One more thing, it is not a by heart system. It is about your creativity and the spontaneity of your communication. If you want to have the spontaneity and the creativity, you need to have the minimum basics how I frame the sentence. You command over the sentence. You command over your fluency. You command over your body language. The more you do practice, the more you update yourself. For example, I gave you these two patterns today. How much time you spend depends on you. If you spend for 1 hour, 2 hours, just while sleeping also, you imagine. While in the office, of course, you don't talk to community, you don't talk to others. Just imagine yourself like feeling talking to others. If you do this kind of practice, it is matter of 30 to 40 days. You definitely overcome your problem, whatever you have, economic, what do you call, communication problems or challenges, pain points, whatever you have. Okay, Manikanta, you do this one. And the previous also, I told you B forms, am, is, or, was, were. They are very compulsory because once you open your mouth, they are always demanding. For example, very common question, where are you? Just you ask a question to someone, I am at the tea stall. I am at the tea stall. What are doing? I am giving presentation. I am giving presentation. Without having be forms, there is no sentence. Without having do forms and have forms, there is no sentence. 80% of the communication depends on only these three: be forms, to do forms, to have forms. The more you do practice by following these three, it is very easy to follow shall, will, can, may, must. They are very easy. Okay, let us stop today here. Okay, you focus on this pattern. Right now, implement what I told you. Remember my way of teaching. Okay, implement as you have the experience of your lifestyle and follow the pattern. Okay, let us see tomorrow. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, okay, see you, Manikanta.
Bye, sir.
I send you one